Welcome back for more of Meg's Mysteries. This one is called Murder with Friends. Daily Star News. Louise Lane reporting. Perfume designer found dead in her country home of mysterious circumstances. Vivian, founder of Temptress perfume and cosmetic line, dead at 50. More to come. I'm Louise Lane, and this is my first real assignment. Only because the tapes are sent to me personally from an unknown reliable source close to the victim. And here's how it went down. All the guests received the same invitation. You're invited to my 50th birthday party weekend. Until then, Vivian. Everyone who received it knew they had no choice but to attend. No one says no to Vivian. So they drop everything and go for the weekend to her country estate, even if they didn't look forward to spending it with her. She was known to be one of the wealthiest women who made her perfume empire from a little shop into the finest cosmetic lines in the world, right up there with her idol, Coco Chanel. All attend at her request or order. They all arrive for the weekend bash. Riding and games were all planned to the minute by Vivian. Dinner party at 8 on Saturday. The guest list: ex-husband number 3, Trevor Reed, current girlfriend, Angela. Dr. Blackwell, family doctor. Patsy Crane, her best friend. Margaret, her stepdaughter of her first husband, Malcolm Maxwell, a wealthy old man who died in a hunting accident. Roger Conrad, tennis pro and husband of Margaret. Victor Reynolds and his wife Eleanor, the business partner. Henry York, the fourth and current husband, also her lawyer. The day's events all went like clockwork as she planned. She was always in command. The party. The dinner was superb. Everything you can imagine was served, and expensive wine was flowing. The cake was made to look like her first bottle of Temptress perfume. Then Vivian asked Mills, her butler, to bring in the gifts. She had a gift for each of her friends. She stood and said, "For all the years of friendship, I would like you all to have a piece of my heart." Each of them got a bottle of her famous perfume. Women received Temptress, and the men received her newest men's cologne, Gigolo. She smiled and said, "I named it after all you gigolos," and they all nervously laughed and thanked her. As they opened the gifts, she stood up again and went behind each chair and started walking around the room. Then she stood behind Dr. Blackwell, put her hands on his shoulder, and said, "Doc, you've been serving my family for years, but now you can retire and get lost. I know of your shady business and practice in your little bag of tricks. You're no longer needed." The look of shock on his face was just what she needed to go on. She said, "My dear friends, don't think you're all out of the woods. I have something on each of you. Patsy, my dear friend, I know you cheated with my hubby, number 2, Tony, and now you're cheating with number 4, Henry. I guess you just can't get a man on your own. Oh, Henry, don't look so shocked. I had both of you followed, and a picture tells all. You forgot about the prenup, didn't you? You get nothing, but you can keep Patsy. Margaret, my dear daughter, I know you'd blame me for Daddy's death, but it was his own stupid fault. He was drunk and, as usual, went hunting. Not a smart man, was he, getting shot like that? So now you can hate me all you want. You have a motive, too. I cheated with your dear husband, Roderick. He's a lousy lover and the worst tennis pro. Now you have something real to hate me for. Oh, I didn't forget you, Victor and Eleanor. I know exactly what you were up to. Miles, please bring the papers and give Vic the pen. Now sign all your shares of the business to me, or I'll get the police involved. I know you've been stealing from the business and me for years. Not as smart as you think you are. I can put you away for years. And my dear Henry, sign these divorce papers, will you, love? Miles, hand him the papers, would you? And now we're finished. The clock struck 12 midnight, and Vivian looked at each of the shocked faces staring at her. She said, "Now it's my birthday, so happy birthday to me. My new lawyer will be here in the morning with my new will that I signed yesterday. I know someone in this room will murder me tonight. So I bid you all good night, sleep tight, and all that." Then Vivian left. They were all stunned and speechless. Abby, her lady's maid, got her ready for bed. Millie, the maid, brought in her nightcap and one cigarette. Her nightly ritual was one glass of her favorite brandy and one cigarette. She said to Millie, "It's my only vice, but don't you smoke. It'll kill you." Millie smiled and said, "Happy birthday, madam," and then she left. The others downstairs, the men went to the bar, and Mills served them drinks. Still no one spoke. The women went up to their rooms crying. Patsy stopped Millie before she went in to give Vivian her nightcap. "Oh, Millie, I locked myself out of my bedroom. Could you get the keys?" Millie said, "Yes, ma'am." Put the tray down on the hall table. Then she went to get the keys from Mills. Then she passed Margaret near Vivian's room. She was just standing there. Millie asked if she needed anything. She said no and abruptly left and went to her own room. Passing Patsy, not saying a word, but staring at the tray. Think of, who's the drunk now? Not Daddy. Then she left. The next morning, as usual, Millie went in to open Vivian's curtain and bring her her morning tea. She found her still sitting in the chair, the window open and the glass on the floor, and the smell of cigarette smoke still in the air. She was dead, like she said. Someone in this room will murder me. And they did. Police were called in. The body was taken away. She was dead for hours, but how and why? And who did it? It could be any of them. They were all told to remain and they would be questioned by the detectives. The staff as well. All were questioned. The butler, Mills, gave the most useful information. He said Vivian told him to record all the dinner party and her last statement to all of them. He gave all the tapes to the police, and they were all suspects. Millie told them that she saw Margaret and Patsy and that she had to leave and go get the keys. She put the tray on the hall table. Anyone could put something in her nightcap. Mills added, all the men were at the bar when he poured the nightcap. Any one of them had a chance to slip in something in the drink, as he gave Millie the keys. They all knew Vivian's nightly ritual of one cigarette and one glass of brandy before bed. The doctor said, someone could have taken something out of my bag. They all had the opportunity. Then the others turned on him and said, you did too. She had something on you too. Each of them blamed the other and said they were innocent. But as you know, that's what everybody says. The new lawyer then came in. He was scheduled to bring her new will. He didn't know she was dead when he was let in. He told the police at her request he had tapes of the will and her last message, so they let him show everyone the tape of her last will and testament. The recording and tape of her last will. This is Vivian, and if you are watching this, I am dead. Oh, do sit down and stop your fake tears. We all know what you really thought of me, the old money cow, so it stops now. I was glad we spent this time together for my last party. But you didn't have a choice, did you? I had something on each of you. Now I have your attention. I made my empire by my own wits and cunning business skills. You all have been riding on my coattails for years, but jealous of my success. But that didn't stop you from getting what you want and what you could out of me. So you will be pleased to know I have the last laugh. Now all my money and business and estate will go to my real friends and faithful servants, Miles, Abby, Millie, and Cookie, and also my chauffeur, Bruno. And the old gardener, old Pete. They all get it. They can live here as long as they want or sell it and go on their way. I think they'll opt to stay, wouldn't you? Okay, Lois Lane here. That's the story in her own words, the tapes she sent to me. I got copies from the cops, and I had tapes on my desk. The real story. Vivian planned it so well. So here's the story. Which one of her so-called friends did the murder? Did she say, someone in this room will murder me? Like she had a premonition? 2 weeks after the funeral, the servants all stayed and are living happily on the estate. The old gardener, Pete, was cutting the bushes under Vivian's bedroom window and found a bottle in one of the bushes. It was empty, but it tested with poison residue in it. Vivian did it herself. She did her own self in. She had known she didn't have long to live. Her new doctor told her she only had 6 months. The cigarettes did her in. So she went out on her own, taking down her so-called friends in the meantime. She left everything to her faithful friends, her trusted servants. Maybe they all are happy living on her estate with her now. Is she still there? Millie says sometimes she smells her perfume in the air and sees a shadow. Is Vivian still with them? Was that her plan all along to stay with her true friends? What do you think? And did she have the last laugh after all? I think she did, and she's still laughing. I hope you like this story. Come back for more on Meg's Mysteries. Until next time.